Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here again, and King's Fall is coming to Destiny 2 tomorrow. I cannot wait. I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve because this is one of my favorite raids from D1, and I'm absolutely stoked that it's coming back. So I wanted to go over my build going into the day one raid race, as well as a bunch of weapons that I think will be viable if you wanted to kind of consider some different options. Now, jumping into it, I wanted to start by saying I would love to have run Arc 3.0. Unfortunately, there is a resilience bug right now that Arc Titans and Warlocks are seeing that they're not getting the maximum benefit, and I always run 100 resilience on my Titan, so I'm not going to take that chance and run Arc 3.0 Titan, unfortunately, for this raid, even though it probably would have been a lot of fun. I also considered running Solar, but I just prefer my Void build personally, and I think it's more universally well-rounded. And then unfortunately the Stasis Titan just isn't good enough compared to maybe the Stasis Warlock. So I'm not going to be running that. Going through my abilities, I am running Ward of Dawn, although I will swap to Sentinel Shield if I need more ad clear. Rally Barricade so I can get this back as fast as possible. Then we've got Shield Throw, Vortex Grenade, Controlled Demolitionist, and then Bastion. That's very, very good. And then Echoes of Expulsion, Instability, and Undermining. I'm really leaning into my grenades, killing enemies, weakening enemies, and using them as often as possible to either do damage or weaken enemies if I need it. If we have other people who are debuffing the bosses or enemy ads or whatever, I might swap that for another fragment, but that's what I'm using now. As far as weapons go, I'm starting off with just a general ad clear slash heavy usage build, and that is Wither Horde, Funnel Web, and the Typin. Now, I'll probably swap the Typin for a solar weapon for the solar shields, but we'll see what it looks like when we hop in and if they've adjusted what shields you face in the first couple encounters. Now, I love Wither Horde, great for ad clear. I use it all the time. It's one of the most well-rounded weapons in the game. I also brought Judgment with Demolitionist and Osmosis. I think this one is highly underrated, especially if I swap to a solar weapon here. I can actually have Void to take down Void Shields with my primary, which is really nice. These two, Aegir Scepter and Burden of Guilt, I just really enjoy for ad control. This one has Chill Clip, and this one obviously is really good for slowing and freezing enemies. Blinding grenade launcher is always handy in day one raid races or early on in dungeons and stuff. I love Duty Bound. This is a really nice AR that can do really well at range, which I like. Fell Taradiddle. I actually like bows, I think, a lot more than other people. And in early, like harder content, in contest mode content where you have to do more damage, I feel like bows are a bit underrated. Then we've got a Persis D just in case I need a scout, and then Izanagi's Burden, one of the longtime kings of DPS, which is still very viable today. Now, as far as the funnel web, I also have Nezarac's Whisper, Demolitionist, and Adrenaline Junkie. This is if I really want to lean into my grenade build, or if I need to use the defensive aspect of Glaives a little bit more. I also have Callus Mini Tool. This one is fire. It's so good. But if I was running Solar, this would be the first weapon that I would have on at all times. Dead Messenger is really good. If they include different shields for enemies on top of what we are expecting to see, this will be really handy to have because it can obviously swap between the three different elemental types. Then I've also got Divinity just in case, Hollow Denial. I actually have one with a Repulsor Brace, but I'm leveling this one up before the raid race tomorrow because it just synergizes so well with the Void 3.0. And then Aisha's Embrace it for a scout if I need it with Void. Now we've got my heavy weapons. I've got a Typin. This is a new hotness as far as boss DPS. Firing line is really, really good. You can use this against not only bosses, but also major ads as well. I also have a couple hotheads here, one with Vorpal and one with Explosive Light. And I prefer the Vorpal, but I have the Explosive Light just in case we have a lot of orb generation on the team. Thunderwood. This is a surprising one for a lot of people, just in case there's Overload champions. But with the new Catalyst, it's actually really, really good and is one of the best ad clear weapons in the game. I have a sword for obvious reasons. Swords are really, really good as well. Then you got a fixed odds as well this one is going to be good for ad clear and clearing the solar shields, as well as the Galahorn, just in case I wanted an exotic there. So that's the majority of the weapons that I'll be taking in. I might look for another solar long range weapon just in case. But other than that, those are the primary ones that I would highly recommend testing out, bringing with you, all that kind of good stuff. As far as mods go, I'm actually running Elemental Ordnance, Harmonic Siphon, Ashes to Assets, and then going on, I am going with the Radiant Light. In case especially because I know my teammates are going to be running Charge with Light builds. I might actually swap to a Charge with Light build if my Well build isn't working so well. Focusing Strike and then Momentum Transfer. Heart of Inmost Light. This is the best all-around exotic for Titans still to this day. No matter what subclass you use, this one is really, really good. I'm running Font of Might, Thermoshock Plating, as well as Void Resistance. So I have resistance to all different energy types, which is really nice. And then going on, I've also got Elemental Armaments, Absolution, and Recuperation. And then Seeking Wells and Distribution. Basically, I want my abilities back as often as possible. So I'll be spamming my Barricade and just chucking grenades, throwing my shield, and hopefully getting those abilities back really, really fast. So that way I don't have to like chew through a ton of ammo. Anyway, I'm really excited about the raid tomorrow. I think there's a lot of possibilities, not only for weapons, but also for builds that can be viable, because there are some bosses obviously to take down. However, there are some encounters that require just a bit more ad clear and require you to be able to take damage and dish it out as well. So I feel like this raid is going to be a lot of fun. It'll be very interesting to see if they add champions to the raid as well, because that might change up what I'm running. That's another reason why I have a variety of different weapons like ARs and scout rifles, all that kind of good stuff, in order to have other options to take down champions going forward as well. I doubt they'll have too many champions like we've seen with the Vault of Glass coming back, that they only added a few. But a few is all it takes, especially when it's on contest mode. So, definitely something to be aware of. Make sure you have options for every single type of champion in your inventory. Don't rely on dim. That's one of the mistakes I think a lot of people make when they're doing the day one raid races. There's a lot of people playing. Sometimes the systems have issues and the things might be slow. So you don't want to hold up your group for too long because you're waiting on dim to transfer weapons. Have what you need on you when you first get started, and then if you think you might need something, transfer it before you actually are swapping to it, so that way you have it in your inventory, because I think that's very, very important. Drink water, eat snacks, have some beef jerky or nuts or whatever the case may be on hand to take on this raid. It's going to be a long day for most people. I know it's a reprised raid, so a lot of people know the mechanics. However, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because it is still contest modifier. So take your time, drink your water, get your rest, get up and stretch, all those kind of good stuff. And yeah, I'm so excited. I cannot wait for tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. I obviously post a ton of Destiny 2 content on this channel. Comment down below, will you be participating in the day one raid race, or will you be able to take on King's Fall before the end of the week and get some of the various rewards? My name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.